I'm going to mute myself.
Also on the thing, but everything else is pretty much a continuation. We have some legal items on here that are first readings also. So I'd rather go over the first readings than the second reading.
Dan, I'm hearing you back. Play back what you said.
All right.
Right, I
Yeah,
got
me
an
too.
echo
I'm
also.
hearing the playback.
There's something wrong.
Well,
Yeah, there's something
it's not
wrong
an
with the
echo, it's
recording.
like a complete playback.
It is.
Yeah, I just.
Dan, are you watching it on the web again?
Is there another way to watch it? I logged in through my email system. Let me log
You
back
logged
in,
in?
guys.
Okay.
Amy, how was the graduation?
Oh, it was great. It was great. Actually, almost all, I think only one was missing of our Boynton Beach principals were there, supporting Boynton High. So it was awesome to see all of them,
That's
all in
good.
one place. It was really cool. Which was good.
I think we're good now. For some reason, Fred, that logged me in, and I didn't even log into the meeting over the website. So
you're not getting the echo now, right?
no, you were right. I was on the website and I could see the audio was playing, but I didn't log into any meeting or anything like that. Maybe it just automatically did it. But either way, we can get started with the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, once we get started, I want to bring up the good to go. Thanks, Alan. With the are we doing the shade meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's going forward.
Okay, so the shade meeting is going forward.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Anything you want to speak on that about, Shauna, before we move forward?
No, it's a shade meeting.
Okay. We'll move forward to 3A. So, like I said, we're moving forward with our adjustments to the announcements. We're going to be doing everything with staff as far as our presentations. Both Senator Berman and also Representative Joe Casello are going to be coming back to give us an update.
Dan, real quick, are you letting them know that we're having the shade meeting beforehand so that they don't show up at 6 o'clock and are sitting there waiting for us? I feel like that would be really a
I already
disrespect if we
contacted
did.
them.
Okay.
I contacted them. They're going to come in around 6:45.
Okay.
I told them that most likely it's going to start like around that time, 6:45, 7 o'clock. And so they said that they'll come around 6:45 so that they're not waiting around.
Okay, perfect.
I did give them the option to go to the June 3rd meeting, but they were fine with just coming to this meeting and coming in at 6:45.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I mean, we can always bump them to the end of announcements if they're not there yet, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Thank you, Maylee.
Alrighty. Next, we're going to have a presentation by Sherry Claude, and she's the administrator in Education and Youth Advisory Board Liaison of Bob Barovi Student Citizen of the Year Award. 3C, Joe Matthews, our Solid Waste Division Director. He's going to be coming in and speaking about Tire Amnesty Week. So scroll down, Maylee, to 3D, please. Alrighty. And we're going to have Gabby on. She's going to be talking about our Memorial Day Veterans Ceremony. Is that going to be at the Woolbright and Seacrest Cemetery, Gabby?
Yes, it will be.
Is that that's on Monday though, right? Because I got an invite from Jim Sizik about that at the same place and for Sunday.
No, the
I think it's
ceremony
on
is on
Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh, they're both on Sunday, so I will be there. Okay. I had it Monday. Good thing. Got to get in
And then
this double.
the flag planting is on Friday in the morning at 8 a.m.
I can't be there, but I'll move the Memorial Day thing to Sunday. Oh, okay. It was on the actual Memorial Day. My bad. I'll get better at this, you guys.
It should be on your city calendar for Sunday.
I know I'm still merging them into my phone, so I must have put it in as Memorial Day.
Ah,
You know,
got
it's
it.
like, well, yep, I messed up.
That's really the only one that's on a different day than the actual holiday.
Okay.
No, isn't Juneteenth on a different day this year?
I was speaking in reference to the veterans events. I'm not sure
Oh,
about Juneteenth,
got it.
that-
Got it. Okay. No worries.
That's usually the Saturday surrounding Juneteenth.
Yeah.
And is that at 11:50?
At the time,
Yeah.
the Memorial Day is at 2
Yeah.
o'clock on Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
And that's not at Veterans Memorial Park. It'll be at the cemetery
Right.
Okay.
over by Little League Field.
Right.
Thanks, Gabby. Then we have a public audience. Moving on, scroll down, Melee. 5A, ratify the selection of a chair, vice chair for the CRA board. If you guys want to know who that is, we can open it up. Ultimately, the board decides that. So,
Shauna, real quick question for that one. Does the board, so like the CRA advisory board, obviously they make their nominations. Just as a general question, does the board have the authority to override that and appoint whoever they want as a chair and vice chair?
I think so, yes. I
Well,
can
I don't wanna,
research that.
yeah, if we can get that clarified answer, because the
Sure.
last I think that we had was if there could be 3 people on the TPA board, and that was not, I want a solidified
Okay,
yes or no answer, please.
sure. Can I
Thank you.
get that to you on Monday? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Monday,
yeah.
Tuesday, either, yeah, whenever.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
all right. So 5B, appoint a city commission representative. I think all of you guys have got correspondence from staff saying that we got correspondence back from the TPA board, essentially saying we couldn't have 2 alternates. We could only have 1. So that's either going to have to be Commissioner Turkin or either Commissioner Cruz. And I believe the primary was Commissioner Kelly, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, I maintain my position on that.
All right. So 5C, community support funds. Commissioner Cruz, did you get that correspondence from her, Maylee, as far as like the request for her community support fund? She wanted to know the balance, and she always
Yes.
also wants to. So we'll obviously we're going to make some adjustments to the agenda, and we'll just have it republished.
Wait, from Commissioner Kelly or from Commissioner Cruz?
Commissioner Cruz.
Yeah,
wants-
I responded that she has 2,000 in her account. I have everybody's balance. If they want to know their balance, I can send that to them.
No, she wants to expend
Yeah.
some of her funds.
Me too, Maylee. I think you saw that email chain today with the Cobras, purple Cobras.
Okay. I did
we
not
can
get
do it
anything
on
from
the-
Commissioner
we-
Cruz yet. I don't know what Commissioner Cruz wants to add. I just know she wanted the balance.
Just reach out to her tomorrow.
Okay, we'll do. And Commissioner Turkin, I'll add yours as well. I just
Yeah,
don't know how much.
Maylee, yeah, I can't find that request.
There was never a request. It was just,
okay.
I think this was a request from them. This was an actual request from them. So I'm not sure
Okay.
how much you want to give, but if you want to,
Then, is it possible to check with them?
yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I give you your balance, and then
Yeah, I
I
saw
don't know.
that. Thank you.
I'll see how much they are requesting, and then you let me know how much you want to go ahead and contribute.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so moving on to 5D advisory board appointments. I want to say one of those is Ace Tiff Ratcliffe to the historic. Can you pull that up for me, please, Maley, on the advisory board? One is Ace, and I think another one. I want to say we have two. Yeah, one's Monique Bodden, and the other one is Ace Ratcliffe. One's for the Senior Advisory Board, one's for the Historical Resources Preservation Board. Looks like the Senior Advisory Board is Commissioner Turkin, and it looks like Commissioner Cruz is the Historic Resources Preservation, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah. that's what it
You
looks
are.
like.
All right, we can move on, Maley. All right, so moving on to consent. This 6A, I kind of, because there's no reason to vote on it. That's pretty much administrative approvals. It's more for informational purposes and transparency. And you'll see what we do with going forward. We're probably just going to publish these reports on the city's website, so we don't have to keep putting them on the agenda. These are all administrative purchases that they don't require the commission's approval for. If there's any
Real quick
questions.
though, for 6B, the July 4th, that brings up the conversation about the boat ramp. I know last year they closed it at noon, and there was some residents that are a little bit upset. So if possible, if we can work with PD and events to mitigate the amount of time it's closed and allow people to use that ramp to the very last hour if possible. Thanks.
That's whenever they're going through their risk assessment and doing the setup. So Gabby, whenever you guys are
Yes.
doing your setup, can you pass that information on to Captain Burdelsky?
Yes, we met about it yesterday, so I can provide some updates through email if you want me to.
I want to say the last 3 years we've had issues with that. So I kind of would like to get it ironed out.
Can we loop in risk management as well, please?
No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, 6C. This is a this is for our retread for our commercial vehicle over at Fleet. This is actually going to be saving us some money. 6D, approve the release and performance bond of the completion of construction work over at Casa del Mar and Dimmick Road. This is some of the stuff that they've been working on. It's been over a year now. I want to say they're getting back their full amount of their bond, including the contingency for $186,256. Staff recommends approval on that. They've met all the metrics. So 6E, approving a modification to the hazard mitigation grant program contract. That's extending this term until December. And I believe that's an additional $632,000 in total funding, so bringing the total to $1.4 million that utility is going to be the beneficiary of that, completing some of our CIP projects. So that's a good thing. Can you scroll down for me, Maley, please? And if you guys have any questions over any of the items I'm going over, please just stop me and we can go through them, because I'm trying to get through a lot of this stuff, because I know the mayor had said she has another engagement. 6F, ratify a change order purchase, Intercoastal Park Clubhouse Pavilion. Right now, what we're doing, we're going through the painting of the exterior walls of some of our differing facilities. During the painting process, some damage to the exterior wall was found that pushed it past the threshold of what the administrative approvals would be. So we needed to bring this item to you guys to approve the purchase order to go forward with doing those repairs. And that's for ICP. 6G, that's going to be a agreement with Crown Count Old Sprint Spectrum. That's our cell tower. They're updating the equipment over there at Public Works. Those of you who are familiar with the area, we got a huge cell tower over there that we do get some income off of. So 6H is authorizing the mayor and city manager to sign a document related to the SHIP program, Local Housing Assistance Plan. If there's any questions on that, Myrna is on, and I believe Candace also. 6I, approving expenditure and revenue mid-year budget amendment for fiscal year, adjusting the general fund, building fund, risk management. There's a whole lot of different risk, or not risk, I'm sorry, budget amendments in there. I know, I believe Gabby has one item in there for about 80,000 for the fireworks for July 4th. So if you guys want to open that, ask any questions about any of the budget amendments that we have in there, we just feel free. Does anyone want us to open it? All right.
No.
All right.
What's
Moving
up? What's
on.
up with the golf carts?
The golf carts, that's actually going to be saving us money over the long haul. It's not going to be coming out of the general fund. That's going to be coming out of the golf course account.
Oh, these are for the golf course. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they need them.
That's
because,
fine. That's all I needed to know.
Okay.
Yeah, I just thought 90 golf carts for city operations was interesting, but for the golf course, it makes sense.
Approve a budget transfer within CIP utility account 403 for the East Water Treatment Plant Generator Replacement Project. And Dr. Calcott's on if you guys need to speak on that. The money was inadvertently not encumbered and rolled over, necessitating the budget transfer. So, and that, do we have a ETA when that whole project's going to be done with that generator, Andrew?
I can address that, Dan. It's most likely, we're thinking by this time next year for sure will be done, but we think it'll probably be earlier. So hopefully January, February, we should be done.
Okay. All right. Seven A, we got quite a few one-year extensions on here. This includes a couple of our annual vendors. I think we got some on there with Dell computers for 300-something thousand. Can you open that up for me, please, Maylee? Just so we can look at some of them. Yeah, we got our GIS software on here as well for 330,000. Dell with all our computers for tech services. Landscaping is 350,000. So if there's no questions on that, we'll move forward. All right, 7B. This is the buyout of the golf carts that Commissioner Turkin brought up. If there's no questions on that, we can move forward. 7C, I'll let Adam, are you on? You want to talk about the $8.7 million 10-year contract with Axon?
Yes. So Axon is our current vendor for body-worn cameras, in-car videos, and tasers. We still had, I believe, 2 years left on that contract. So what the police department has done is they've negotiated a 10-year contract with Axon. And what this contract will do, will continue to maintain our body-worn cameras. We'll have additional in-car cameras, and they're going to swap out our Taser 7s for the new Taser 10 product, which is a much better product, a more accurate product, and has a twice the range as the existing Taser 7s. So when the police department started those negotiations, the initial quote was over $12 million, and throughout the course of that negotiation, they were able to bring them down by about $3.5 million. So first year, next year will be the existing annual amount of $705,000. The following year will be $100,000 increase, and then the remaining term of the contract will be an additional $100,000 annually over the course of 10 years. And Joe, if I missed anything, feel free to chime in.
No, Adam, I think you covered it all.
Okay, so we'll move on to 7D. 7D is 178,000, but I want to say 109,000 of that. And if Chief Bruder's on, I believe it's a 50% match with a grant that they're covering, and it's $109,000. What's the completion date for this? I know we awarded the RFP contract to Seaside Marine Contractors, and that's for the boat
sir.
lift.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir, we did. Chief Bruder is on with you. So initially, we were hoping to get done by August or September. When Rick did the presentation at the last commission meeting, they initially thought it would potentially be November. I had some dialogue with them because the fireboat is going to be arriving hopefully sometime in August. We'll be doing a lot of training and prep. So we definitely want to have the list done sooner. So we're going to be putting some pressure on them, and the ball is just getting rolling on that. So hopefully it'll be done in time, and all the coordination and effort will pay off.
Any questions? All righty. 7E. So when we were going through budget last year, what we noticed is we saw an exorbitant increase with our CARE ATC contract. And for those of you who don't know, CARE ATC is the city clinic. It's open to not only employees, but if you have family coverage with the city, your dependents can also go there. And we had an increase from, I want to say, about 875,000 the previous year up to 1.6 million. And that was some expanded coverage. But what we noticed was we weren't getting the type of numbers that the clinic was being utilized appropriately. So we went back, and I know Gail Moots had a large hand in this, and I want to give her kudos. She worked her butt off. Andrew did as well. And it looks like we're going to experience about a $700,000 savings over the next year with some of the different concessions that we got. So big kudos to them. We'll move on down to 8A.
Also, Lynn Nazaro also was very instrumental in that as well.
Oh, okay,
in that
okay.
negotiations.
All right.
I'm sorry, and Stacy, just so we recognize everyone. Thanks.
Yes, it was a group effort.
Go
And-
team!
and,
Go team!
It was a great thing, and we saved the city money and got more services out of it. So it's a great item.
Good. And we're seeing an uptick of more people using the clinic?
We are, and
No,
we put in
yes,
some
No.
service in this.
A lot of the complaints I got over there was the bedside manner of the staff. Kind of was, and I can tell you, I've utilized, I went over there for some physical therapy treatment, seeing the doctor, general physical stuff like that, and top notch. The doctor's actually very caring.
Everyone misses Dr. Jacobs. Everyone misses her. But Dr. Pilevsky's good too. He's the guy that replaced her. He's good.
Yeah, Dr. Jacobs, she was awesome too. But yeah, kudos to everyone in case I missed someone. It was a lot of hard work going back and forth. So we're always trying to see if we can save a dollar here and there, definitely. 8A, a lot of these second readings, do you guys want to go over them? Because I would kind of,
Not unless there's been some changes.
Amanda?
If there's any of them that we have.
Yes, there were some changes, not to the structures, not to A. B was art in public places. You guys had some constitutional questions about that, but I know Amanda can address everything in her presentation. And so I don't think there's any concerns with that. With regard to the pension plan, there's no changes with that. Repealing, there's no changes with that. E, the employee handbook, that is the same. And blah, blah, blah. Hold on, land development process, the Palm Beach County Park impact fees, that's new.
I can cover that one, Janelle.
Okay.
So F is a new item that's going for first reading. This is largely a cleanup. We've had our own park impact fee implemented with the city for a very long time, but our code of ordinance is directing us to collect the Palm Beach park impact fee. So we're simply striking that from our code.
Okay.
Alrighty. Any questions in reference to, I think the big ones here are A and B. The pension plan, that's kind of general housekeeping that we got to kind of upkeep. The repeal on D, that's something that we're just moving forward with, repealing one of those antiquated ordinances that we had. E, that's our drug-free workplace. Shauna, was there any changes to this one at all?
Sorry, someone just came to my door. My dogs are losing their mind, but no, there were no changes from first reading.
Okay.
If I
And
could I just ask if there are any questions on A or B, the turf or art? I know that there was some confusion around what the state was doing with turf, so I just want to, give anyone the opportunity to ask any questions on that.
Well, does what we're doing is what we're putting in place or what we're voting on will be effect? Because what we've seen happen a couple of times now is that we'll pass an ordinance and then the state law will
Preempt us.
Well, right. And so are we going to run it? Are we just spinning our wheels doing this if the state is going to be rolling out something different?
Yeah, so it's a two-part answer. So, and the attorneys can jump in if I'm not doing this justice, but the way the bill is written right now, in my understanding, that it doesn't cover the whole scope of our LDR amendment. So what's happening at the state is only covering residential and single-family homes, where our scope is covering a lot more. So will there need to be some updates once, the feds create some standards? There may be. But there are still large parts of this that won't be affected by what's happening at the state. That's the first answer. The second part is that it will probably take the feds a long time to come up with standards. And, the law tells us that we can't stop anyone from doing it. And we are not, we are putting some drainage-led regulations in the code. So until we really see what standards come up with, it's hard to tell. But that I would assume it's at least a year out.
Okay.
Yeah, and Amanda, that's exactly right. Actually, my initial recommendation was to not go forward, but then when we realized, we looked at some other regulations, it's actually the State Department of Environmental Protection. It does take them at least, 8 months to a year to come out with regulations. So, and it's residential property up to 1 acre. So we may just have to amend for a carve out later on, which we're willing to do.
Got it. Okay, great. Thank you.
And then for B, is there anything regarding art or these amendments that any of the commission wants to discuss?
Amanda, I did have just one quick question. As it pertains to any art festivals that we do, I know that the funding comes from this this funding source. Is the language in that with regard to, I don't want to just make it kinetic art because we might end up doing something else and pivot to some other art festival or whatever. But how is that, is there any language, I guess, that kind of, I don't want to say protects, but that kind of prioritizes that?
It's not changed in this amendment. So any kind of art focused events that the advisory board or the commission wants to fund, this doesn't inhibit our ability to do so.
Okay, but we just have to approve the funding for it.
Yes, exactly. And that would be part of the budget process as we approve it as a line item in there.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Sure.
All right, Melly, scroll on down. Go back up to the public hearing items. Did you
I think we're
cover?
on 8G. Yeah, we're on
yeah.
8G.
Yeah, we're on G. And Andrew, you want to take this item? I think you met with all the commissioners individually, correct?
That's correct. So this is simply that the city received a letter of intent from a developer that they recently purchased 10 acres from the Palm Beach County Housing Authority. This property is located outside the city limits. We're asking you guys to declare that surplus and then direct us on how to dispose of that land asset.
All righty. We'll move on to 9A. This is just an update for everyone. I know we especially with the amphitheater, when it first was put in, we didn't do the appropriate thing whenever we put in Bermuda grass. We didn't go down into the soil deep enough as the way it was explained by our subject matter experts. So we started seeing a lot of dilapidated areas on the amphitheater grass, and we were going to move forward with turf, but we wanted to see, well, what if we went with St. Augustine, which those of you who obviously have been in Florida for a while, St. Augustine grass does vastly better and has a little bit less upkeep than Bermuda. It's vastly more durable. That's what the majority of our lawns are made out of. So we want to go with St. Augustine. That should be completed, I want to say, first or second week of July. So the amphitheater grass and First Friday, that's going to be shut down for a few months until we can get that back up to par. And those of you who are here at Taste of Boynton and some of our other events, you started seeing a lot of the differing areas of concern on the that whole amphitheater area. So
Yeah, it was just sand. I mean, most of it
it
is sand.
was just dirt, exactly.
Yeah.
Commissioner Kelly. So that's why I just wanted to give an update. When we're done, it's going to look amazing. If that doesn't work and it's not durable, we're going to have no choice but to move towards turf. And I think we can do a nice city logo or and do something like that to where it'll be nice. But there was concern as far as like heat, drainage, things of that nature, putting in turf. So that's why we wanted to kind of give grass one more shot. And 10A, this is Commissioner Turkin and Mayor Shelton's item. Do you guys have anything to add, or you want to just continue this discussion on 10A tomorrow or Tuesday? I'm sorry.
If sorry, my dogs are still losing their mind. If everyone could just take a look, we do have a proposed ordinance attached of what that would look like. And it has blanks for the different things. So what we'll be looking to do is just get some feedback from you on those one or two specific items so we can fill that in, those questions in, and then bring it back for you after we don't want to split up first and second reading, so we won't bring it back for the June 3rd meeting. It'll be the July 15th meeting.
Okay.
And one other thing before we conclude, you told me 6:45, Mayor, so we're about 11 minutes ahead of schedule. May 31st, we got it scheduled, both the parliamentary school and also the ethics, which is going to be Rhonda Geiger. She's a special counsel on the Commission on Ethics. She's going to be here May 31st, Saturday, 10:30 until 12:30.
I thought we were starting that earlier. No?
We were, but whenever we spoke, that time frame worked best for the vendors or for the consultants that we were actually bringing in.
Okay.
So it's going to be May 31st, and it's going to be 10:30 to 12 with the parliamentary training, and that's the Robert Rules, about an hour and a half. We're going to break for lunch, and then we're going to come back at 1. and then that's when they'll do the code of ethics. So I'm assuming the total time of the training won't exceed 4 hours. And that
Yeah.
should satisfy everyone's requirement for the annual ethics training. So you guys should not have to go through that, correct, Maylee? If they do in-person ethics training with Rhonda?
Correct.
Okay. Now,
We'll
if you
just
guys
collect
decide,
their, we'll have the forms there. And we'll make sure the forms are there so they can fill them out and we can submit those.
now, if you're an elected official and you were not there, and this includes, I want to say also all charter officers, myself, Adam, Andrew included, you will have to go through that ethics training. So, any questions?
Okay.
Any questions on the future agenda items?
Mm-mm.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate everything. This concludes the agenda review for this upcoming meeting. If you guys have any questions, any changes to your community support funds, anything like that, make sure you get them to Maylee so we can make the necessary adjustments to republish the agenda.
Okay, great.
Thank
Thank you guys. See you Tuesday, if not sooner.
Thanks, guys.